Okay, hey besties, welcome back to my channel. So let's get real. GLP-1 helps a lot with appetite and cravings, but what about emotional eating? Have you ever thought about it? If you've ever reached for food when you're stressed, bored, or sad, you know it's not just about hunger. Like me, if you paid attention to my other videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Today, we're going to get into the truth about GLP-1s and emotional eating. Does it really help? And what happens when the medication isn't in control anymore? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it and welcome back. So let's think about this. What exactly is emotional eating? I really want to break down the difference between real hunger and emotional eating. So when you think about it, physical hunger comes on gradually. You're open to different foods and you stop when you're full. Emotional hunger hits suddenly, usually for a specific food, and it isn't satisfied even when you're full. That is something that I struggle with. If I have a taste for something and I don't get it, girl, I actually cry. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I shed tears because I'm an emotional eater. When I'm sad, angry, stressed, depressed, I am eating. Emotional eating is all about using food to cope with feelings, not because your body actually needs fuel. And one thing I have learned, emotional eating can lead to obesity. That's facts. It's a bad pattern to keep up. It's a bad habit to take, but it's facts. Now, let's talk about how GLP-1 affects emotional eating. This is where we really think about where GLP-1 comes in. It lowers your appetite by slowing digestion and reducing food noise, but does that mean that it fixes emotional eating? No. It's not exactly fixing the issue, it's putting a band-aid over the issue. For some people, emotional cravings go away because food just doesn't sound as appealing. For others, the desire to eat for comfort is still there, even if they're not hungry. GLP-1 can help with the physical side of hunger, but it doesn't rewire our emotional habits. That's where a therapist come in, girl. Go see a therapist. I had to. We all have to. I know in the Black community, they be like, oh, we don't see therapists. Ho, is you cool? Go see a therapist. Because if I didn't go see a therapist, I wouldn't have been able to control my emotions as I do now, which goes along with being on the GLP-1. But what happens when the food noise returns and you feel like you can't cope? One thing I've noticed, when some people stop taking their GLP-1s, their appetite comes back. So do old habits. And this is a judgment-free zone. We do not judge if you go back to your old habits and need to get back on the medication. That's fine, baby. Them girls went back to that man after he did what he did 50 liver tabs. You're good. Okay? So if you've been using GLP-1 as a way to avoid emotional eating without working on the root cause, it can feel like everything comes rushing back. That's why it's so important to build real coping strategies while you're on the medication. And that's something that I didn't learn the first round, where it took me a couple months to actually build up to that, if that makes sense. Are we here? I feel like we're here, but I never know. Y'all don't be putting too many comments in the comment section for me. No tea, no shade. I'm just saying. But I want to talk about like how you can break the emotional eating cycle. So you have to think about, what can you do if you know emotional eating is a struggle for you? How about pause before eating? So simple. I promise you, it's so simple, but so effective. Ask yourself, am I actually hungry? Do I want this because I feel hungry, or I just want to feel better? 9 times out of 10, Bookie, you want it because you want it to make you feel better. Put it down. Drink some water. Find a distraction. Call a friend. Take a walk. Or do something other than eating. We have to substitute them bad habits. You want to reach for food because you're sad? Baby, photosynthesis. What's that called when you in the sun? I'm gonna ask my husband about it later. He into science. I failed geology. I don't know. It's like photo something. But go outside. Do that. You'll be okay. Have a comfort plan. If stress makes you want to snack, find a non-food comfort. Like journaling. Journaling is so good. I collect journals. I know how to make journals, but I still buy journals because I love journals. I literally collect them. Listen to music. Crash out. Listen to System of a Down. That's what my husband like. Keep trigger foods out of sight. If you know certain foods set you off, make them less accessible. That's why I didn't buy snacks when I went grocery shopping this time. The goal is to really train your brain to handle emotions without relying on food. So for me, GLP-1 definitely helped me with my cravings, but I had to be honest with myself about my relationship with food. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it's so true. Look, y'all know I keep it real on my channel. It's so true about myself. I used to eat when I was stressed, especially late at night. I work 10-hour shifts. I am up late. GLP-1 made it easier to say no, but I still had to choose different coping strategies. I would draw. I would fixate on making a craft. I would watch YouTube videos. I'd be on TikTok for like 8 hours of the day. Don't do that. I don't recommend that. But GLP just made it easier to say no. Now I focus on listening to my body instead of listening to my emotions when I decide to eat, except when I'm on my period, because you can't trust me when I'm on my cycle, because when I'm on my period, I'm not myself. You know how people are not themselves when they haven't had a Snicker? Exactly. That's me when I'm on my cycle. But trust me, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware and making small changes. A lot of people in my life are not self-aware, and it bothers me. I'm happy that I have become self-aware of my bad habits, of what I used to be. And I wish some people would take a hint and fix their bad habits. But that's neither here nor there. Who am I? Who am I to judge, okay? So besties, have you noticed a change in your emotional eating since starting GLP-1? Or do you still struggle with it? Let's talk about it in the comments. I would love to hear your experience. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can become a part of the GLP-1 Besties group, okay? See you next time. Bye.